At any time during a game of ImagCard, the role-playing game, you can create new situations or scenarios, missions, adventures for your characters to go on, or come up with new parts of one when you don't necessarily know what should happen next by creating what we call situation things. And these are created very similarly to creating world things, except with world things you are coming up with overarching facts about the world that your characters are in. With situation things, they're much more specific to something that they're currently experiencing, something they might be trying to solve, something that might be sort of more temporary to the location that they're in or the time period, something along those lines. So what we start with is 5 cards of any of the sets, very similarly to how we created world things. 2, 3, 4, 5. And what we have here is we ended up with a bridge, a coin, somebody kicking, a island of some sort, and a key. And the book officially says to use twice as many cards total as there are players, but I like to often go with 5 times as many when there are smaller groups of players. So let's just pretend that we have 3 players, and let's draw 15 cards total again. Grab another things. Let's grab a second things, why not? And an actions. And we'll just continue creating our first scene, our first situation for our characters to deal with in that same world that we created in the earlier video. So what you do is you can go around the table, and at the beginning of an adventure you can have the characters, the players, work together to determine what kind of situation they're in, or during a game that's already occurring, you can go on ahead and have the game master just take 5 of these or a set of these and use 3 at a time to create situation things to carry forward an adventure with. So let's just say right now that we're starting our first adventure with new characters in the world that we created earlier. So each player would go around the table and choose up to 3 of these to determine one situation thing that is specific to what's happening to them right now. So we've obviously got a lot to work with, a lot of lock key symbology that can go along with maybe our characters being sent on a coyote-style mission where they're trying to get someone or something through one of these nation-state borders. So let's just start with this lock and this person kicking. And why not? Let's add the airplane to it too. And we'll say that there is somebody who wants to get some cargo through one of the borders in the nation-state, and the players have been asked to break through somehow. Bing! So that's pretty generic, pretty basic, kind of an overarching idea to go with. And now they can determine how they want to go about doing that, or what their options are going to be. So let's say that there is an island chain with a set of bridges. Or rather, let's be a little bit more specific. Let's say that they are trying to get into a nation state that's on an island, and that the only way through it is through a bridge, or obviously through the oceans. Bing! So now we know, okay, the bridge is on lockdown, the island is where they're trying to get to. So we have a little bit more on the current situation. And let's go ahead and use the 2 of these, and let's just stick with that for now because we might want to use some of these other ones for something else. So let's just say that this island nation is very wealthy and very militarily protected. Bing! So it's going to be a very difficult mission. This is a hard place to get into. They want people out, and they want to keep them out. And let's go ahead and use the 2 of these. This is let's just say this is a pile of rocks. It's a pile of something. And this is somebody climbing, theoretically, or maybe swimming. Let's just say that there's some cliffs, that the island is extra high up, and to get up onto it, you'd have to scale these high cliffs if you were trying to approach from the ocean. Bing! So now we have a variety of different ways that the players can go about trying to accomplish this mission, but each one has its own individual challenges that we're starting to see here. And a lot of times you'll rely on turns of phrases, you'll be a little funny sometimes. Let's just use these pants, this lock, and this key to say that they know somebody who can alter their jeans, pants, jeans, your pants as in denim jeans, and your genetic genes. We're using kind of a turn of phrase there. It's not exactly funny, it's borderline funny. And we'll just say that they know somebody, or there are people around the place where they're currently coming from to go do this to this island nation, who can alter their genes to give them either a universal key or a genetic key specifically to the locks of this city. Bing! So maybe they could get through if they could get it together enough money to afford this service, or they could do something for this type of person who does this service in order to be able to get that done to their genes, so that they could get through rather easily in more of a stealthy way rather than necessarily having to break in or fight in or sail in and scale a wall or whatever. These last three, we really can't think of anything with them, so let's just go on ahead and toss those aside. We don't really have to use all the cards very similar to how we made world things. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 situation things that build on our world things, that build on the world we've created, that build on each other, and that really set up this location that the characters are trying to go to. We don't know much about where they're coming from, so it might be up to the game master to figure that out, or maybe we've already figured that out before because maybe these characters are developing, maybe they've already been developed, maybe they're already existing in this setting that we've started, and now we're going to a new setting that is very well built out now. We have a lot to work with, a lot of different ways that the players can go about trying to accomplish their mission, and we can throw out there some reward. The book has some ideas for different rewards, different monetary systems that you can use inside of your game that you can use to entice your players into sending their characters on this mission.